So, we're doing pretty much the same thing that I was doing last night. Grinding. I know it's very uninteresting, but what the fuck am I meant to do? That team is not high enough level to defeat the Elite 1 champion. At all. Especially not when the first Elite Four has a level 54 as a first Pokemon, a Dugong. Which, if fast enough, can pretty much sweep my entire team, apart from the fossils. Well, specifically these fossils. So I'm needing to grind more and more. I already said to be like 54 itself, because I'm guessing 52 is going to be too low, because when I did that in Fire and Leaf Green, I needed a few too many max potions. But I also plan to have Slasher be slightly higher, because I am going to be relying on Slash. I know I don't get any staff for it, but at the same time, I'm needing something to take out the two Gyarados within the set of 5 battles. It's my best shot because the Pokemon that is able to learn Thunderbolt or even Thunder, which to my knowledge is Rhydon, would be too slow and would be outcovered by Hydro Pump. Through a combination of being quad weak, Hydro Pump being like 104 or so base power, and also Gyarados having stab on it, and also there being a low chance of miss, because it's like 8 or 9, that's about like 80% chance, and with the AI, most of the time whenever it's somewhat of a high chance to hit, it will guarantee hit. And also they don't consume power points, meaning you can't just make one. I didn't mean to do that, but you can't just make Gyarados waste 5 power points to make it so that it can't use anymore, because it has an infinite amount. And that's only, those are the only few that I'm entirely worried about. I mean, I'm somewhat worried about Blue's Alakazam, because Stab's Psychic will be deadly, but it does not have the greatest of physical defense. And hopefully my Slasher can outspeed. Most of Aglo's Pokemon I can use with Earthquake. Golbat's gonna have to be done with Rock Slide. Loreline's gonna be a bit interesting, because it's just water and ice. I mean, I might be able to, like, if I was somehow fast enough with a rock move, because last time I checked, rock is super effective against ice, and water does not resist it, and someone laughed at some point. Great. Cloyster could be a bit of a pain in the ass because it's going to have high defense and special. What else? Okay. Bruno usually is never a problem. I mean, red and blue version of Bruno is never a problem. Yellow version is more difficult. Just... no, the only one I could see giving me a proper problem would likely be Hitmonchan, because it has the 3 elemental punches. But then at the same time, I do not think its special is good. I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like I think that would be the case. I think the rest, but okay, the Onyx are going to be going down so easily. Okay, Hitmonlee is going to be near no problem, because it doesn't have any coverage. Good coverage. And the Machamp doesn't have Rock Slide, which is what it would have in Gen 2. I think that is mostly covered. I mean, I guess the rest of the lands were, well, with Ice being the Dragonair and Dragonite shouldn't be too much of a problem. Partly because, for some reason, Dragonite does not have any good moves. It has Hyper Beam. That's the end of it. I mean, it has Barrier, which is stupid logic. Because it's never been able to learn it, ever. So you send a poison type against it, and it just spams that. So, it's, before I says now, it's just doing my least favourite part of Pokemon games. Grinding. The battles are fine, as long as I'm not saying bullshit. Just the grinding together, especially in a situation like this, takes so fucking long. Probably because, you know, I can't go off trainer battles, which would be roughly like 50% or so more XP, and I'd also be getting money from it, and that other Pokemon are, well, might be around the same level, also Arctonix. I don't know, it's like, yeah, you can use badge boosting glitch, but if I get O-code before that happens, I'm screwed. Because my Pokemon aren't exactly fast enough to try and use it first turn, and there's also a high chance they just get O-code. Especially against Lorelei. When her entire team is super effective against mine. Oh, and also, yes, I do have Crop by Free music on right now. Quite a lot of it being Pokemon music. Because if I kept the game sounds on, all you'd be hearing is a biking music, and that's it. But no, it just shouldn't fuck up the audio, because it's about the same level it normally is, 5%. And also it's set up so that there's 2 audio tracks for recording. Which hopefully would mean one for my voice, the other for desktop audio, which could also be the game. And yes, almost all of the time the music playing isn't exactly fitting. Because currently right now it's the champion music scene. Is Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald? Is it great music? Yes. But where I am, it just would not play. And I still haven't even gained a level. Fucking hell. And now we're putting our 2 music on, which... I would not mind entirely playing on stream. I just have the problem of needing to set up the PS2 emulator again, and also finding the ISO for it, because it already took me a while to find the ISO for Burnout Revenge, which, unless I can find the ISO for the 360 version, is the closest I can get to playing Burnout Revenge on PC, and it's really fucking fidgety. I don't know if that's even the right word, but what I mean is trying to set it off isn't fun, and then trying to get it so that it works without having a black skybox isn't fun. I'm not teaching you horn drill. Of course, I don't know the situation for Burnout 2 itself, but I wouldn't want to play the PS2 version of Burnout 2. Because the Xbox version is much better with more customization for the cars, especially some of the layer ones. And also there's more crash courses. Which I guess is what you get when it comes out late in the PS2 one. Yes, the PS2 one is the one I know. But I did watch someone play through the Xbox version, and it is just better. Still don't know why they did that. Why it was a case of, oh yes, we'll put it first on the PS2, and then we'll give the enhanced version to Xbox later on. Because they did the same. Oh, which one was it? I swear they did it with another one. I mean, they attempted to give it some form of incentive to make you buy it on the Xbox. But I might just miss it. I swear they did more stuff with it. Because the closest one I can think of is Burnout Revenge being on the Xbox 360 after it was already released on the PS2 and Xbox. Because for some reason, I do not know why, but for whatever reason, Burnout 3 onwards, the games were never released on a Nintendo console until Burnout Paradise Remastered with the Nintendo Switch. It's just very questionable on many different fronts. Like, the first two Burnouts were released on all three systems: PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube. And as soon as it came to Burnout 3 in 2004, only PS2 and Xbox. Like, it was 2004, it's not like the Wii had come out. The GameCube was still in its third year. So I couldn't, unless it's Nintendo's reasoning. But then why was it later on they allowed Burnout Paradise Remastered to be on the Switch and then did not allow Takedown Revenge at all to be on GameCube, or even unless it was the developers / publishers? Look, I don't know, no one fucking knows. I mean, it's not like it's the case for Burnout Dominator where that was a PS2 exclusive. Technically. Well, more like it was a PlayStation exclusive because it got a PSP version and then it was put on the PS2 in 2007 and only on the PS2. Well, I not entirely, but it was on the PSP as well, but for main home consoles. PS2 only. Like, no Xbox, no Xbox 360, not even PS3. Just the PS2. Why? Yes, I can understand it needs to be fun to be on PS2 because install base was massive. But does that explain as to why it wasn't put on anything else apart from the PSP? It's not even like with the case of Burnout Legends, where that's essentially a compilation of the first 3 Burnout games with the Burnout Revenge soundtrack. But that's only the PSP version. The DS version has a lot left to be designed. Soundtrack wise, it's great. Honestly, it is. Like, I've listened to it. Like, if you just, it's on YouTube right now. just so well in my Burnout Legends DS soundtrack. Should be able to find it. I mean, I've listened to it at least a few times. And even though it's on the DS, it is good. Just the game itself could definitely have been a lot better, but at the same time, it wasn't made by Nintendo themselves. So what were you really expecting? Clearly not much. Although I still had a lot of fun with it. Then again, when I did get it, my expectations were possibly lower than now, because I just didn't have any expectations. But I mean, years later, I managed to get the PSP version of Burnout Legend, which is the superior version. Except mine has a problem where it likes to crash, take ages to load up, and sometimes not fully load in a track in the middle of a race. Like, you somehow go too fast and the game can't keep up, so that randomly it just stops. I.e., you've got nothing, you just stop, you're on flow ground and you have to wait for an indeterminate amount of time for everything to respawn. And honestly, there are times when the drifting is not great. Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember now. I mean, I can still say there's a problem of you crash once and you're on another last place, and there's on pretty much, I think there's only 4 races in any event. There's like race, eliminator, road rage. Yeah, only 4. I know it was a PSP. But why only 4? It's only 6 is the usual number. So I'm talking this much about game series that the closest that the entire series has ever come to major consoles, well, major being PS5, Xbox Series X, and then the Switch, is one remaster of a game from 2008 and one backwards compatibility version of a game from 2006, and that one is only on Xbox, not even on PC, which is fucking ridiculous. Well, I mean, that won't be Burnout Revenge because it's the 360 version that's available, which is the best version. Still with some problems, but I definitely do want to play it, except the problem is that I haven't found, well, I haven't attempted to look for the ISO for the 360 version of Burnout Revenge, haven't reinstalled a 360 emulator, nor do I have an Xbox Series X or an Xbox One or an Xbox 360 or even the disc for Burnout Revenge. Even though it's my favourite game of all time, and all I have is the PS2 version, which has long loading times as shit, and also randomly you can glitch through the map. But on the whole, it is still good. I mean, luckily you're not having to go through different software settings just so you don't go through skyboxes, but also because it's the PS2, one says the highest quality on like the monitors I use. Because I know it wasn't exactly made for it because it's not a CRT, but it's still serviceable. If If only EA actually gave a shit and decided to put the rest of the no. I don't know why I know what I was trying to say. I know that it's slightly larger than predicted. Why they're doing this, I don't know. It's on 2% under right now. I've got 1.9 at least. Definitely hasn't been taken a while. It just fucking has. Well, it clearly is a combination of me being high level than everything here, and also just taking way too long of its almost 8,000 experience to get one level. At a point when I get like 800 or so from a chuck. I can get a K from the Golbats, but that's Golbat only. And they're like not common. And I'm also still finding level 20 Pokemon. Which is obviously not gonna help me. Also, I just realized that Ever can't even do anything in here until when Choke comes about. Or even Golbat, because it's got nothing for rock types. Of course, when I switch it out, a Choke appears. I hope this song also doesn't get copyrighted, because I'm still in dispute with the Unsigned Smoke song. VODS saying that, oh, another company apparently holds the rights to it, even though where I'm using it is for gameplay purposes. Because I am, as it's the Unsigned Smoke fight, and I'm clearly talking in it. So why are they doing it? I don't know. Okay, now it's too quiet, god damn it. I guess they can still the thermal. Just not when there's anonymous. I noticed that when rock throws use Onyx's burst sprite, part of it goes green and yellow. Clearly it's another graphical glitch. Also, I am still not the greatest fan of the colour scheme used for Victory Road here, which I think is used in every other game, where it's just dark green, light green, brown, white, and also grey. It doesn't look the greatest. Then again, trying to make the game look interesting is difficult when often you're just gonna make everything brown. This would honestly be a great time to be able to talk to some people, but one person is here. It said two earlier. I never know who they are unless it's someone from a certain Discord. Except they ain't listening because the last part through. At least one is, and is not giving a shit. Because grinding is in at the perfect time to be able to talk to at least someone. Or like I'm doing, listen to music. Because that's what I do. Either watch like a live stream or something, like a VOD of it, possibly episode of a podcast, depending on which one it is. If it's EFAB, then I will. Or just listen to music. Or even, well, listen to Top Gear, because I can. I didn't even get to see any of the stats. Come on. Well, they're definitely not the greatest stats. Now the music has gone back to being loud. Well, not so on decibel audio it's near enough the same. Really is at 7%. Because for some reason I do not know how to make it a certain value without changing too much. grinding in one place. It's like, it doesn't end up being so bad when it's by yourself and you don't really have to talk that much at all. But I also have no one to talk to. But also at least I'm not having to absolutely check if something is a shiny. Because I don't think I have actually found the shiny via grinding. Which I know is a shocker for how much I have grinded. It's just a bit weird. I mean, yes, in this game it's pretty much impossible to get a shiny. Because there's like only, well, to my knowledge, it actually fucking missed. Well, there's only 4 or 5 or even 6 Pokemon that can become shiny in this game. Ditto the legendaries. But the, I guess Mew, well, Mew's more of a mythical, so I guess 4? Okay, clearly this is not gonna fucking work. If I get the 1 in 256 square and earthquake, no PP left, which means I've got 4 call. Damn fun music. I mean, most people know where this is from. Well, I mean, the games and also the meme itself. I mean, it was mostly used as a joke for when Gen 4 remakes. How long until they would be announced? And now it's like until they're released. Well, because of how many people like me were wanting Gen 4 remakes, considering remakes were already made for Generations 1, 2, and 3, then they made Gen 1 remakes again. And we finally got them and people still complained. I still say I can complain on the sense of the cheapiness looks extremely plasticky. But we also have customization back in, which was also lacking in RS for some reason. Even though it's RS and also the character designs were based off Emerald. So it was like it was trying to be a combination of the three. Well, it kept Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. But still had the data for the exclusives from Ruby and Sapphire. But also still had the battles from Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, that's all they did with Emerald, just had them look like they were from Emerald and nothing else. No, like, Emerald Enhanced version, because they never done that. I guess they're kind of doing it with this one, but not in the same vein. Not like what they did before. With a third version where it's like, not say anything about releasing a third version, but still releasing it like 2 years later, or even 1? Well, 2 years later from when the Japanese version got released. possibly? I'm trying to think of all of them. It's roughly 2, but so I'm pretty sure Crystal came out in 2000 in Japan, and Gold and Silver was 99. But then the other ones were at least 2 years, regardless of which one, because well, Ruby and Sapphire in Japan was 2002, and then Emerald was 2004. But everywhere else, Ruby and Sapphire 2003, and then Emerald 2005. But I don't look at kind of confused on like Diamond and Pearl, because were they like 2006 originally for Japan, and then 2008 for everywhere else. No, speaking of like releases, still pains me of how many Pokemon games, pretty much all of them, apart from X and Y, were released many months. Like, okay, understand to go from Japanese to English, it would take many months to translate a text-heavy game, but it doesn't make sense of how it takes so long to go from American English to European. If you look at the differences between when it was released in America and when it was released in Europe, massive fucking differences. And yet, if you actually do try and find any text differences between most American versions of a game, specifically Pokemon game, compare that to a European version that's in English, you'll see that there's no text differences at fucking all. Seriously, none of the words are supposed to be like British English, i.e. adding the U onto some words like honour and colour. Nowhere to be found, we still have the American spelling. And yet we still have to end up waiting fucking forever just to get pretty much the same version the Americans got months prior. But at least we didn't have to wait 3 whole years just to get the Wii version of Pikmin 2. But that's one case where we managed to somehow get for them. I mean, there's more cases, but if you actually look it up, there's hardly any cases of Europe / the UK getting a game before the US. Especially if it's been translated into Japanese, well not translated into Japanese, translated from Japanese. Now, if they were trying to do like, oh, everyone in Europe gets a game at the same time, kind of fine, but the English version's already been done, nothing gets changed, the only thing needed is to make it compatible with PAL game, well, the PAL device, well, version of it, because it's not a DSC, but okay, so that does not take like 5 or so months to do. Because I'm pretty sure that's the time difference for some of them. I'll just check now because I have a lot of time here. Mainly for Diamond and Pearl. Specifically the originals. Okay, so Japanese version, September 28th, 2006. North America, April 22nd, 2007. That time difference is understandable because it's Gen 4, there's gonna be a lot of fucking text. Just will be accepted. But
But then you check underneath. Australia, June 21st, 2007. It took them that long to send over a game from North America to Australia, even though the translation had already been done, and it was a mile quicker to just make it go from North America to Japan to Australia. Or just go from North America to Australia. But even after that, because that's still what, almost 2 months of pretty much the same. Like I said, it's like Australia does have heavier restrictions, but still going to Australia before all of Europe, because that wasn't until July 27th, 2007. Or over 3 months from the North American version, just to get to here, because we're having to translate it into like French, German, Spanish, Italian, Dutch, Swedish, Finnish, Norwegian, all those, but they still don't change anything for the, well, I guess Peggy version, or the one that gets sent to Britain. Well, at least it's not as well as South Korea. They had to wait until February 14th, 2008, Valentine's Day. I know that was Gen 4 in the mid-2000s, but that is ridiculous! Because I'm pretty sure we didn't have the same case with every other device coming from Nintendo. All of them took a while to get here. I think in a way the only thing from Japan that might have gone here quicker than anything from Nintendo would be from Sega. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless I'm only thinking of Genesis, where surprisingly Genesis / Mega Drive was well received in Europe, and I don't think it was so much in America, because America already had the NES. But still managed so well here, surprisingly, even without Sonic. Okay, that is that even... Okay, I'm gonna leave it to that, because I need to take a quick break. So I'm just gonna make this really tacky. 5 or so minutes.
Right, so I'm back. My phone's already fell. God fucking damn it. Kind of expected it to happen at some point. I was like, I'm gonna be coming back in just yet. Cause I have a yogurt. And also no one is here. But I also wonder what is going to happen first. A bot that's going to try and get me to go to a website that's going to scam me, or a genuine person. Asking me who I am. Oh, how? Not who I am. And now we can actually go back in to very slowly get Arrow up to level 48 and then slash it up to 52 or something, higher than the rest. I did say 57 or something because again it's the main one I will be relying upon. Not like I have much of a choice. Just playing Gen 1 for terrible movesets and not allowing rock types to learn rock moves. Or allowing me to actually have a good moveset. Like, properly good one for Arrow, because as much as I'd want Rock Slide and Earthquake, I can't have it. Nor is this Gen 5, where all TMs are reusable. And by that point, all the movesets for my mons would be fucking amazing. Not that I'd be able to use most of them, because I'm pretty sure all of the fossils wouldn't be until post-game. Well, especially, well, both of them, because, well, black and white are not able in the main game, and then black and white 2, the fossils can only be revived post-game. Which is a real bummer. Which means if you really want to use a, well, one of the two, what, you know, the fossils, without it being traded, you just have to get from an egg. but you still train over, but it still counts as your own because you were the one that hatched it. Still have to run away because I can't do anything. Only 2 mons I can really do anything against in this area that I want to damage. Could Zubat Geodude and Machop? No. So all I have is Venomoth and Machoke. Those are all my options. I mean, at least with Golbat, it's like 1k XP. Like I said earlier, not common. And I don't want to be fighting the Onyx because that would be too slow in an attrition battle. And yes, the music from earlier is still going on because I'm pretty sure it's the loop that plays off like half an hour. I hear Escaping Dragon music. I don't know Valentine Smile because everyone's fucking out that one. Well, so this one is surprisingly a bit louder than I thought. I think that's fine. Seems like it based on desktop audio server being really loud. Yet again, no one I can't deal with. There's no one I can't just deal with one hit. Oh, hey, name that I can't read because on my screen it's in blue. I'm seeing Blood Venom. Ah, okay. Well, that and also, why Streamlabs OBS thinks dark blue on a black background is a good idea, I don't know. It works now because it changes to a lighter blue and it kind of looks purple, but the initial message is so fucking blurry that you're having to get so close to the screen to even read it. But hey, aside from that tangent, sorry. I don't know if it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't show on your one because whenever I've checked on Stream Manager, it's different colors to Streamlabs OBS. You'd think they'd be near enough the same because, well, one endorses the other. Except no. Yes. I've done at least a few. But this is mostly because I have not actually finished the original Pokemon Red and Blue. Because the last time I played Blue was last year and I never finished it. And also somehow it's a franchise I keep on going back to most. Still somewhat have some Dark Souls stuff in mind. I just eventually need to buy the other Dark Souls ones for Steam, and I just haven't. But I am also in a grinding session, so. Well, I have not personally played Moon itself. I've played Sun. Well, I've played Ultra Moon, but it's still slightly different. I still see the games as fun, although I have some opinions with Sword and Shield. So when for Gen 4 remakes, and also it generally looks like Legends Arceus is going to be the best Pokemon game ever made. Even better than Platinum, Emerald, and Black and White 2. Yes, okay. Yes, that is a case. That is a problem with Gen 7. It takes so long to do anything, and even by the time you've done something, oh, you're in another fucking cutscene. It's even worse if you're trying to shiny hunt for the starters, because of how many cutscenes you have to go through, because I think it's like 3 or so minutes to get one counter, for that to also be the same case in Gen 6. I'm grinding, because I'm right at the end of the game, pretty much the Elite Four's ahead of me. This is my team, and it's also too low of a level. And also I'm having to run away because Arrow does not have a good enough moveset. Probably because in this game, no rock moves, no ground moves, nothing. All you have is flying, some normal, and also one fire. Don't have much of an option apart from it would be, yeah. It'd be really suicidal if I went to the Elite Four right now, because I'd be close to 20 levels under the champion. Yes, this is through an emulator, because I don't have the hardware to be able to stream my 3DS, nor do I have the Virtual Console version, nor do I even have an original Game Boy / the original Pokemon Red. So emulator's all I had got. And also I sort of had to, mainly because it was the only way I could start with a fossil. Because I wanted both. Visual Boy Advance. Well, Visual Boy Advance M2.0.1. Whenever I check on websites, it also gets said like amongst the best ones, and then some other options. I mean, I still have some problems with mine, mainly if you try and lower the volume mid-game, like either the sound doesn't work, or the sound fully, well, the game fully resets. And then there are times when if you try and map the fast forward button to a certain button, then fast forward is on permanently. I don't know why, just is. If you remap it to another, that's fine. It's just for my case, I can't do the R2 button. Oh, and also it has a case where if the controller disconnects at any point and you try and reconnect, you have to go back to keyboard. I don't know if that's just the controller itself or it's the actual emulator recognizing the controller first time, but as soon as you disconnect it, it never recognizes it again. I know. I can't do much. When I'm finding, for some reason, Pokemon Adventure Road, they're like level 20 or something. And also, because this is Gen 1, I can't just go backwards and forwards with trainers, because no versus exists. Why do you think I've got background music on that's not from the game itself? And this is the point where I want to be talking to at least someone. But hey, it's slightly better than, you know, trying to get a shiny via soft resetting over and over again, because that's really riveting. Well, the only way that would happen is if we'd send them over to Gen 2. Because then some of them would be able to get rock moves. Or even just be able to learn Earthquake. Because, yes, Golem and Rhydon can both learn rock moves and ground moves, but I can't say much for the 3 fossils. Because if you've ever looked up the movesets for some of the Pokemon in Gen 1, you'll be thoroughly disappointed. Especially if they only have one move until like level 30 and then they learn pretty much the same move. I wish I could. But this is Nintendo here. Most of the time that is not allowed. And also some of the Pokemon would just be impervious to guns unless it's only killing the trainers. Then most of them wouldn't be unless the Pokemon are fast enough to block them. I feel like that's a reference I'm not understanding. Oh, it's got crit. So I can't do much. When this one Aerodactyl doesn't want to level up, because I at one point was like 8,000 or so XP to level 47. Which is fucking ridiculous. And it's just so slow. With no way to speed it up, and I barely have any trainers actually left to fight, because I already cleared all of the routes leading up to Seafoam Island. The water route north of Cinnabar, pretty much all of the standard routes. The only actual place that I have left, if anything, well, it's not really around, it's one building, it's the fighting dojo, and that's it. Except that's 5 trainers. Yes, it is. Because even though you can't exactly fly out of here, or even in Gen 3 use the Vertiseeker in a cave, you can use a bike instead. Even though, which isn't exactly the safest thing if you think about it, because there's many times a rock's gonna come out of nowhere and sends you flying into more rocks. And also, yeah, it's like the only way to move faster because there's still no running shoes. That wasn't until Gen 3. There's just a lot of quality of life features this game is missing. That I'm having to trudge through. Actually, I think as of right now I can just go to that fighting dojo. Because I'm severely over leveled compared to them because they're like 30 or something. I think, well, the Karate King or Black Belt at the end got like level 37 or so. A lot. And it's going to be even more. It's too much, I know. This is a problem with most RPGs. Grinding is a necessity. Very few don't have necessary grinding. One that I can think of that doesn't really have it. One... I flew. I have fly, which is able to be used to go to many places, but Chrono Trigger, to my knowledge, is like the one of the few RPGs that you don't need grinding for. The only other one that you can kind of in that way is Dark Souls. But there's still some grinding in it. But I don't know about the entire series. Well, where I am right now is just a certain building I missed earlier. But I would be at the end enough. Because where I was an Indigo Plateau and all I had was 5 battles left, I just won more XP. And this is like the only place I have left with actual trainers. Seriously. Every other round's already been taken out. And even after my grinding, it's still not going to be fun, because Gyarados with Hydro Pump times 2. Yeah, this is... Like I said, this is an optional area that I missed. Like, the Pokemon I will be facing are 54 and above, up to like level 65. And clearly mine are not even close to that. Like, I can easily put on screen the levels that I'm gonna have to be facing, like, against an Elite Four and Champion. The only saving grace is that not all the Pokemon have great movesets. It's just that they can be tricky. Well, you can't really call them all OP when, depending on what depending on the Pokemon, a water move can take them out. Ages? I know. This is how grinding normally is. I mean, you should have seen how much I was grinding for red in Crystal. Like, I was just doing the same thing over and over again for many streams. I eventually won, but it took forever to do. This way anything will be bloody possible. I mean, could I easily do a lot of this fast forward off? Well, partly because I've played this series my entire life. I'm just used to it. Not any form of grinding, I'm used to. I can still complain, but many things keep me going. Mainly the many ways you can beat the game, Pokemon themselves, times when grinding isn't necessary at all. I mean, yes, you have the story, which is mainly from, I guess, kind of Gen 5 onwards. Well, Gen 5 itself, the story and that's pretty much amazing. For goodness sakes. Well, it's the one proper RPG series I have consistently played. I for some reason have just never played any others and I don't know why. Well, I guess I've attempted to with Final Fantasy 3 on the DS. Imagine to get that. Now we can go back and grind even more and more. Because I just want to see this end. I just want to see the end of the game properly. I've done all of this, I need to see the end. I don't want to give up now. I mean, I already did a lot of grinding also in the Fire Red one, which is the remake of this game. Allows with electric types only. Same amount of party members, very similar moves. Well, not similar moves, just similar amount. Well, there's many reasons to just keep playing Pokemon. I'm not trying to say it's like one of those puzzle things where I've got so many ways to finish it, just yeah. Then still one flaw I'd say is with the earlier games. They fixed it within Gen 6, except they fixed it too much by making it so that you're overpowered compared to fucking everything. Can you still turn it off? Yes. But then they later got that removed in Gen 7 and 8. Well, not Gen 7 particularly, but more. They got that removed in Let's Go and Sun Shield. And also, if I wanted to try and speed this up slightly, there is like an EXP all, but that's me catching 50 Pokemon, and that takes too long. I know it's a third of the decks, but at the same time, it does take a fucking while. I know it's Nintendo, but at this point it was also Game Freak mostly developing it. Okay, I won't say the most household, because EA and Konami exist. At least with, EA and Konami, they hate their employees as well as people who play their games. Nintendo mostly are fine with their employees. And it's not like if you ever leave Nintendo, you don't get blacklisted from every other game development studio possible. Which is what happens if you try and leave Konami. Because you either stay with them and basically become a modern slave, or you leave and forget that you ever worked with Konami at all. Oh yeah, Blizzard and also Ubisoft, you could say, with how they treated their own employees, but also with Blizzard you kind of have to combine Activision into that because of Activision Blizzard. Wait, why Blue Box? What have Blue Box done? Because I feel like I'm out of the loop here. I don't remember Blue Box being EA, the one company named most hated or the worst several years in a row. I'm very confused on what Blue Box Studios or Blue Box Games. I don't know which one of the two it is did. Like I say, they do actually elaborate on how Blue Box is the worst. Like, unless you're writing a novel, I'm gonna have to see what Blue Box has done if you're considering. If you're saying Blue Box is worse than EA, the game currently holding my favorite franchise hostage and doing nothing with it. Wait, what? There's a Blue Book. There's a conspiracy? What the fuck is a conspiracy? I know it's so many, but what the fuck is the deal with the Blue Box conspiracy? What the fuck is it? It's clearly nothing I've heard of, and yet this seems extremely recent. Like I'm saying, June? Like, if you're still here, can you try and elaborate on the conspiracy going on here? Because from what I'm seeing, somehow it involves Hideo Kojima? Am I? I know. I'm trying. Because I thought it was controversy, like they had done some illegal gambling in the Philippines or something, or to affect something else. But no, there's somehow a massive conspiracy. But what the fuck even is a conspiracy? If there's a subreddit dedicated to it. Then why is the first article from June that appears on Google just has Hideo Kojima's face in it? Like, I'm very confused here. Because I was not aware of this back in late June. Because I feel like I heard of Blue Box before, but just never heard of the conspiracy.
Wait, is this anything to do with Silent Hills from years ago, or am I being stupid? Well, because that's what it seems like from one video that says abandoned and the Silent Hill conspiracy. Although then again, that was GameSpot. Wait, hang on, from what I'm seeing it's... From what Gadgets 360 says, it's like, oh, it's Sony unveiling a project from Blue Box, and then the conspiracy being is made by Kojima, and he's just hiring actors or something. Even though Blue Box said they have no affiliation with Kojima. Well, of course they would say that if it's somehow a secret Kojima company. Even though Kojima already has his bloody studio. Kojima Productions? I forgot which one it is. Oh. So it's a small Dutch company, and then the conspiracy is that the game doesn't actually exist. Secret new project from Hideo Kojima. God, that's very weird. I'm not trying to say that's very Kojima-esque. Like, if we're basing it off some of the weird stuff hidden in his games. Handmade time. But if really... like, is some of it, like, just because fans are wanting like a new Silent Hill, and Silent Hills was cancelled years ago because Konami are assholes, focusing on pachinko machines and somehow succeeding? Well, I know I've heard some conspiracies before, but not one on that level. One guy is using a small company as a front to make possibly a remake of a classic. I don't know. Seems interesting. Then again, a lot of conspiracies can seem interesting at first, and then often have a very disappointing conclusion. Well, I don't know if that's just because of how much the conspiracy contained. I don't think those are the right words, but more like how much attention the conspiracy got that nothing could live up to a satisfying conclusion. Sort of like in most cases, if a show goes on for too long, then it just ends up. Uh, 50, possibly 54, because 52 is honestly gonna be a bit too low, but I may also have to put Slasher slightly higher because I need something to get rid of the Gyarados. as Gyarados beforehand have already attempted to decimate my teams because they're faster than me, have Hydro Pump, can crit with Hydro Pump, get stab on Hydro Pump. So yes, this is going to go on for a while and maybe into the 5 hours to play tonight, unless my friends are deciding to do golf. Specifically golf with your friends. I don't know, I just wait for them to say something. Like, would it be better for me to continuously show this, or off screen do the grinding in like fast forward? Because I can do both. If it was a let's play you wouldn't show all the grinding, but then technically if streaming you'd still do? I don't know. Because I can speed it up, just need to go into the settings and set a certain button for fast forward. And it's not like I'm doing an MDB while I'm trying to keep it like as legitimate as possible. Because that's, well, that's his series of like, can he do it within a certain time frame? I'm just wanting to do certain generations with only certain types. Because even after this, I do plan to do at least one for Gen 4, specifically Platinum. Haven't figured out the type yet. I just know it's not Dragon, because that's me only having one, and it's a very overpowered one as well. Like, if something like the Lucky Egg actually existed in this game, or if the Pokemon could just hold items, or if I could just fight trainers, this would be faster. This is like the fastest I can do it, because even if I did it in Sea Farm Islands, it's not going to be fast enough because Pokemon aren't high enough leveled. And in most cases I can clear out the Pokemon in here anyways. So it's slow regardless of what I do. Because that's how Red and Blue were. I'm not saying that they were hastily made, because I swear it took like about 6 years or so to make Red and Green. Because they had to wait that long. Well, considering they were doing it on Game Boy hardware and, you know, making a lot of strides and making essentially a brand new game. I could honestly, well, get the rest of the, get 4 of the members to 54, and then just 1 at 56, and I still have rare candies to go. So I guess put 3 of them at 53 and then use a rare candy. Run at 4 of them to 53 and then use rare candy on them. It still gets Lasher to 56. Why did I do that? Why the fuck did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. God fucking damn it. 50, that definitely didn't take forever. With almost 100 in every stat. Because of course, I don't have 100 in special. Arguably the best stat in the entire game, because it's a combination of two stats. Okay, it can't be just me, but when I'm moving up and down, it generally looks like these boulders are bobbing up and down. I know they're meant to be for moving, but seriously, it does look like it. Oh, come on. Does one have to have that eye of the fence? Honestly, if you're still bored by the grinder because eyes lining up, I don't mind you just having this on mute and doing something else. Just as long as the viewer's still there. I mean, you're not having to watch this. I'm the one putting myself through it. By continuously playing it, wanting to the end of the tunnel. It's not like it's a movie where you technically have to keep on watching it. I mean, you can technically leave throughout. I just personally haven't done so. I mean, this would be more fun if I could just do leave for now. It'd be a lot. Like, it would end very quickly. Actually, it might not end quickly, knowing me. At least then actual battles would be happening, not just doing this over and over and over again. You can still get great music in the background. I mean, I did that myself, because otherwise you'd just be in same music over and over again. Because if it's training music, fine, but it's a wildfire music. Over and over. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Dum dum dum. Guess it's the closest one to level 51 in Twilight, though. Oh Jesus Christ! Almost 3.5k. Would be less of a problem if go back. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, I do not mind if you just have this on mute and you're doing something else because of how long this is going on for. As I've been streaming for almost 2 hours of just doing this. No. Not even slightly. I'm sticking as an omnivore. Don't know how I would be a vegetarian considering I have a bacon sandwich for lunch pretty much every single day. Okay. I guess. Okay. The lava's uncalled for. Also, really, your mom jokes. I'm sorry, but what year are we in? Well, I guess the answer would be a terrible year. Especially for me. Like, I'm only saving it now to go down to get the level 51. I'm not ending the stream here. I've got still like an hour and 10 minutes. And then I'll just continue. Okay. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. Well, I forgot what your nickname was, because I know you said earlier you were Blenheim. But I know you had the nickname before, I cannot remember it. Still wouldn't mind if you kept this in the background on mute. As long as I'm seeing the viewer there. Oh, he was there. Okay. Okay, now I remember. Definitely a while ago. Yeah, my apologies, I remember everything. My memory's awful. Well, in some cases it's fine, other cases it's... Well, it's not a goldfish, just... Kind of have short-term memory loss, but a long-term memory gain. I think the reason why it's taken so long only is because it was pterodactyl and I couldn't just rely on well, most things. Three of them obviously I'm not going to rely on anyways, but the rest, mainly Onyx being the most common high-leveled thing here. I couldn't really do much with that. Plus, it really does not really make that much sense entirely. Like, game design wise, I have low level Pokemon here when they're supposed to be kind of close to Elite Four. Because I've already said, oh, you could have just put the other rock types here. Like I see, because I guess the only other one is a Rhydon. So it would be better than nothing, and it's legitimately possible to get one at this level. A 42. So why not put one in here? I guess you could put another flying type. I really wouldn't say much for flying type, because I don't think there's any other ones associated with caves, especially because there's no bats. It's just Zubat and Golbat, no Crobat, unfortunately. So, I could easily point out that many ways that my grinding here could be a lot worse. I could be using only one Pokemon that's extremely high leveled, like for this area, but isn't strong enough to beat the game. dun 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 dun. More grinding. Dun, 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 dun. More grinding is going to be happening, and it's going to be highly likely I can't finish all of this in this one stream. Oh, actually, I just thought of something. At least I can say that my videos are still more interesting than people literally reacting to other people's videos and not even giving them credit. And I'm not even going to say who that person is, because everyone knows who the fuck that person is. Well, at least I'm not doing that, just taking someone's content without permission. And then just when, like, have the entire video play out, but just when that person is gonna be promoting their own stuff by the end of the video, they cut it off, but I didn't even say who the fuck it is at all. Like, I have to use maybe show for a few seconds. Never say who it is, but still occasionally comment on the video itself, and not say who made it. Because that feels like it's the equivalent of people taking art from another person, posting it somewhere, and then claiming they were the ones that made it. It's like, no. I mean, why do you think people credit the artist? And you know, full time, anyone who doesn't credit the artist if they're posting it somewhere else, it's called an arsehole. So I ain't got that level up yet to 52, and then it'll be even 4 more levels. Fucking great. Because I can say, Dactyl's the only one that I'd say is the slowest. Like I said, the others, anything that is level 40 plus, I can invoke her. Can I start even take it out because I have higher attack? No, not even with a crit. Are you serious? I know there's no fucking stab, but come the fuck on. Like, if I could have a rock move on my Aerodactyl, I'd be set. Because I could just use that against the Gyarados and then be super effective with stab. If there's in free, absolutely I'll be able to do that. Not here. There we go, to level 52. It says I don't want this to be over 24 hours, but it's looking like it's close to being. I know there's still many hours to go, but my god, is it going slow? Oh hey, there. Still grinding. And then just vamoosh. Because I don't know how long I'm gonna be grinding for, just a while. Raising to the levels I said of 53 for everyone except Slasher, and then 56 for Slasher. And then I'm guessing, like, if we're going for Power Plant right now, Slasher seems like the best choice, because most of the lowest Pokemon to my knowledge don't have great physical defense. And I don't know if any of my Pokemon are fast enough to use Rock Slide. Like, I don't know how fast they are compared to a Rhydon. Because if they're faster, then they're just gonna pull out a move that is either super effective or is just focusing on special, meaning that Rhydon goes down either way. Because if anything, they're gonna use a physical move on essentially a brick wall. I don't think so. I forgot my chop. Unit and Zubat. Fuck off. Just show me your evolved forms. Because a lot of it is on X at like level 42 up. What? What? What do you want there? Seriously. What are you trying to get out with those messages?
Are you just doing that because you realise there's no moderation on at all? Because it's my stream and I don't give a shit about sweating. Even if I still have that one rule that I have not changed. Kind of my eyes get one to Stephen me of it changing between 2 and 3 viewers because my eyes are just not grey, and even I don't want to put my glasses on. Are you sure? I might have, although it depends which one, because I've done a few. Okay. Well, unless you mean where you play offline and don't have messages be visible. I mean, if I put myself online, I read some of them. Well, a lot of them are just funny or just praise the sun. Are you going to dance in Dark Souls as well? Even though I've never seen that in Dark Souls. There's an actual message. Anything, because there's no restrictions. And the only one that would ever send you anywhere would be the Twitch intern that might be watching this. I keep on making that joke every time, and it's not funny every time. But it's the only reason as to why it would say like 1 viewer after like 5 minutes, and then we'd just have that one checking the smaller accounts, because the smaller accounts are not going to have moderators. Although I technically do have 2, but they rarely join the stream anyways. Like the 2 moderators that were kind of assigned. One's a streamer themselves, the other does not join us. Don't know what you mean by the 3 dots. What I was talking about. What I was saying is that you can say pretty much anything, because I have no moderation on, and the only one that would ever like ban you or something for saying some words is a Twitch intern that might be watching this, and I like to make that joke for it being the only reason as to why I would have 1 viewer, like it just say 1 viewer on Streamlabs OBS. Mostly because Twitch realizes not every small streamer is gonna have moderators, and then I mentioned I have 2 that I assigned as moderators, but they rarely join the stream anyways. Was I talking a bit too fast? Or is the background music a bit too loud? Oh, almost 150 special in defense. Nice. Oh, okay, there's Hydro Bomb. Which I'd rather have instead of Bubble Beam. Ah, cool, but I feel like that becomes rarer and rarer. Okay, now that you kind of have me worried that you're either doing a novel or just not saying anything because you don't know what to say. Okay, Dizzy, I'm not the greatest fan of... I guess it's the MMA itself being a problem. It still likes to freeze at times, but luckily it's not a game-breaking freeze. Well, I didn't realize it was almost 6 hours for my time. I don't know what it is on your place for that. I just know that because I'm in Britain. It's getting closer to 5, which is usual ending time. For to restart 7. Okay, that side's been enough. Because it's enough for a goal bar that's 8 levels higher. I don't know about one that's going to be higher level than me. Because I don't get stabbed for it. It's just powerful. Although it would have been better if it was Blizzard. Which I could teach Blizzard anyways, but... it's me. Still like to know who the other viewers are, because I'm seeing 3 viewers. And I've still not attempted to figure out how to figure... I've still not attempted how to figure out who the viewers actually are. Because it never says, you just end up having to wait to see if they'll say anything. Aside though, I'm slightly glad that I'm getting less bot messages in chat that occasionally would just say to go onto this website to buy followers. Never click on them because I'd be gone. And also slightly glad I haven't had any fake follows. I follow some accounts that technically exist but don't count. Like, a lot of the time they like, it's a series of them and they have some form of a pattern, like having a word in it somewhere. Like in my case, Magnolia. That was a more recent case of 14 days ago. No, it's fine. As long as I know you're there, it's just the others that I don't know who they are. Like I said, if I know you're there, I'm fine with you having it on mute and doing something else. It's just for those that are apparently here and not saying anything and I don't know who they are. Okay, at least someone. I know that sounds complicated.
I'd slightly wait for the music to stop playing at some point, i.e. YouTube realizing that I am not constantly watching it and just have it in the background. But it's so stupid that they have it and then you can't remove it. That there's no option to, so often your best options to... Well, Spotify would continuously play it, but get Spotify Premium, which is paid. Because even if you have ad blocker, and you do it on the... Like, okay, is it web app? Well, not the downloaded version, but if you just do it from the browser, you could still get ads even with ad blocker. And then Deezer isn't enough a worse version of Spotify, and occasionally there's some websites that you've never heard of that's just a rip-off of Spotify. And then, okay, yeah, there's YouTube Music, which it's slightly better for ads, but still not fun when the video starts and there's an ad. So you click on another video just to get another ad, and then you repeat the cycle forever. I mean, Spotify occasionally does the similar thing, but because it remembers where you last went off, there is a chance that if you start playing another song, then you're gonna have at least 2 or 3 ads immediately. Especially because of the half an hour thing, where it's not like an half an hour songs, it's half an hour in real time. And I know you can still bypass it by closing it and then reopening it, which absolutely is helpful. But often the best option is just to, oh, can I really say this, download the music. What? Say no one illegally downloads the music. Well, it's more like downloading it off websites if you're not paying. It's technically the best way to do it. I mean, if you just have music playing through like a Windows Media Player, then you don't get ads and everything is sorted. Much better than the Groovy, which, like, I think it's technically Microsoft's own thing, and that fucks everything up because it doesn't sort everything into playlists. A lot of it just goes into unknown album. Well, unknown album is what I was meant to say. So some of the stuff goes into the proper place, but even when you attempt to move it into another album, you can't, because even though it moves, it then moves back. Meanwhile, Windows Media Player sorts everything out because it can actually put stuff into albums, and then you could just make playlists separately, no problem. Mostly through drag and drop, because you can very easily just make other, like, some songs part of other albums. And that backtrack for Python still looks a bit weird. Golbat. Why? Someone's for some reason get excited about Golbat just because it's the most XP I'm ever gonna get. Problem is that, yeah, if Genesis is slower than a Golbat that's low level, then it clearly it's gonna be slower than pretty much everything else, which isn't fun. I mean, I know it's a moving boulder with 67 speed, but it's generally slower than everything else. Because I'm pretty sure it's even slower than my other moving boulder. Yes, it is. I mean, at 70, I was checking the bomb, which is supposed to be speed, so 65 compared to 70, so generally is the slowest. Because at least the rest have like a speed above 84, with 2 of them exceeding 100. And 1 close to 150. I just have 2 that aren't even close to, well, 1765, that they're not close enough to 100. Which means almost everything can and will outspeed it. I guess the only thing that technically won't, no, because I'm about to say itself, but the Pokemon are going to be higher leveled, so everything's just going to be outspeeded right on at this rate. The only thing I can entirely hope for is that they don't go for special moves, or just don't have anything that my Rhydon is weak to. I still like the name for it, Genesis. I mean, as much as I'm not the greatest fan of the typing rock and ground, even if it's labeled as ground and rock, I still like how the first Pokemon introduced is a cool looking one. And isn't Mr. Mime. If only more was done with Rhydon, because often, well, I mean, it's on some teams, mostly blues, but like no alternate forms from what I can remember. Like something to make it more viable rather than just being quad weak to 2 common types and then still having a lot of other types. Night week 2. Because what it's really good at? Normal types with no form of coverage. Like, it can do well against that, but then again, steel types also can do that. I know I'm not exactly talking that much, but what can I really say? A lot of stuff I've wanted to talk about, I already have. Especially when it's just the point stuff over and over. And we haven't exactly reached the interesting stuff yet. I really do want to see how well I can do. I was being a better Brock than Brock ever could. And just be glad I'm not trying to include Onyx on this.
because that's more training for a Pokemon that isn't exactly strong because it does not evolve. And even when it does, no longer a rock type. But Steelix is awesome. And Onyx main look composite, but oh my god, they're weak. I mean, evidence by you just show it some water and it would run away. Or how much you can struggle within the early game. If you aren't fast enough, water and grass types take it out easily. Hey, level 50! I only got like 3 more levels to go. I mean, I get the others to 50 and then Slasher up 4 more levels. Just so I can do the situation I want. To get 4 of the team to level 53 and then use Red Candy on them. And then hopefully that's enough for the Elite 4. Because if it isn't, shit. I mean, evidence of Onyx being weak by just being scattered around here. Maybe large, but why they made it so weak and so heavily focused on defensive, well, defense, so much I won't know. And counters a fully evolved Pokemon, and it's just awful. Well, I don't exactly know it's special. I just know that it's decent enough speed of 17. But then again, a lot of water and grass has much faster than it. And yes, Critical exists, but just no. If it can struggle at like level 98 against Lorelei in Violet and Leaf Green, clearly it's not good. And I know I was never pointing out, but we actually did reach a peak of 4 viewers. And I feel like that's the highest I've ever had in a while. Like, apart from the 2 times I've reached 9 viewers. Only because one of them was my first stream, and the other was because of a raid. Both of which I'm so thankful for, but also still annoyed that I don't have the footage for my first stream. Entirely my fault, because I never checked Twitch at all. And I just also just realised something. It is still weird that when you go into a wild battle, the boulders disappear. Like, why do they? Like, if you saw any of this, disappears. Like, I know it's like it's a movable object, but it's still formations just to come back. Almost like saying it's not really there. Or they saw what had to do it. To somewhat save a memory? I don't 100% know. I think a rock for can still KO Venomoth. I know I'm several levels higher than it. It's not the strongest of moves. still waiting for it to stop, and I'm surprised YouTube hasn't. I don't know if they fixed it, or something that I'm doing has made it so that it's still continuing. Unless it's because occasionally I've gone onto it to change the volume. That might be it. Because of how long it's taking. Well, it seems like I might be able to get my boulder, Dwayne, over to level 50, and I do not know about Arrow at all. I mean, I'm doing this while I'm still waiting on MDB's Pokemon Black with only in-game traits, because I've been wondering for a while. Because I've seen the list and it's a lot smaller than other games. Still larger than Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. It's like, is it still the case of red, blue, and yellow having the most? Like, they really put a lot of emphasis on training Pokemon in the first game. Put some in the second and hardly any in the third because they just focus on contests. And then still hardly any for Gen 4 because it was also contests. But then Gen 5... Dunno. Are you sure you went insane? And not me doing this over and over again, because last time I checked, insanity, well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And I am doing the same thing over and over again. I guess you add on the extra bit of expecting different results. I'm expecting the same results. So it's almost insanity. Although when you're saying you A's, it makes it seem like you played Siege or something. Okay. What game are you playing? Because there's a lot of games I can fit with. Oh, Valorant. Valorant. I have not personally played Valorant. I might have forgotten everything about Valorant because I just haven't. Just not played it. I've seen some people talk about it occasionally, but that's mostly online and not any of my mates. I guess to see how close is 20 to level 50. Oh yeah, that's a fucking while, isn't it? Like everything else. And it feels more painful because there's no bar to see within battle itself. You're still able to see how much is there, but you get too used to a visible bar, like in literally every other Pokemon game after Gen 1. Until just nothingness. Oh yeah, of course, the first one I find back in here is Azuma. Really? God fucking damn it. This is getting closer to the stream and I haven't got my entire team to 50 yet. Close? One's almost 50 and the other one's still 48. Just hope that none of it's undercooked or burnt. I guess it's not chicken, in most cases it wouldn't be. Or in this case just hope it hasn't gone off. Okay, great, cause I'm pretty sure I missed a rock throw and then I'm just now hitting myself confusion because it's the only thing one ever does. Against a Golbat you can't outspeed. Why did I try to knock up to that? Of course. Why do you have to paralyze me? Even though you're already faster than me. Venom off. And I'm going back because I really can't be bothered to spend money. Well, not really spend money, but waste a full heal on something I can easily get rid of. Oh fucking god, another chop. Fucking really? Oh come on. Don't need to be finding you. I don't need it using either.
Like I said, just Graveler, but Chunk, Golbat, Onyx. Something that isn't level 24, 22 or 26, just something I can get XP off. It's good enough. Oh, come on. Finally. I don't know how I just wanted so long for me to be able to find Pokemon with decent enough experience of it. Instead of just the same 3 weaklings. There's not being one of them. There's one last bit more fight. Level 50 eventually. When did I? Okay, I still have one left. That's not going to be done within 10 minutes now, is it? Unless you think I'm a fucking miracle worker. I would try to get one to like level 49. Or depends how much is necessary, because it's going to be like a fucking lot. Yep, almost 9,000. Or, you know, somehow find 9 Golbats. Which I don't think I'll be able to do, because in most cases I can find like 1. And also I've only just realised now that it went from, the stream went from 3 viewers to 1. What the fuck happened? Where did people go? Okay. Either I get to like halfway or I find a Golbat. Because I need to end it soon. Oh yeah, I probably have gone, so I can't do much. Oh, okay, that's a Golbat. Yeah, of course I missed Fire Blast. Can I just hit? No, because for some reason, not only is Golbat constantly using Confuse Ray, but I'm hitting myself in Confusion. And also missing Fire Blast. What the fuck is this kind of luck? Seems to be really shit. But now I can end it. And luckily, because of how I do things, the screen does not go off when I try and pause something. And I know I'm only talking now, so it's like a podcast. But I'm guessing that well, no, Vet isn't here. If he is, I'd like some final words. Not in terms of like a serious way, just final words for the stream itself. Because I've been trying to get final words, but no one is here for final words. It's usually just me. Because people end up joining, but they don't stay until the end. Even though I'm counting this as the end right here, right now. Yes, I'm saving it again, because even if I do save, I still end up forgetting if I did or did not. To Vet, if you are here, at least some final words before I click F9 to end the stream. Seriously. I don't know if you are or aren't. I know you're eating food, but eating food does not stop you from commenting on stream. At least to my knowledge, it does not. Well, especially not in my case. Okay, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes of the stream being all, but I am not seeing Vet say anything. So, if nothing has been said, then I will just end the stream with my final words. Ciao for now.